Okay, part 4. I have so much to say about season 6. Part 4. Okay, so rewatching it, and that's why I was saying before earlier, like that like your brain isn't fully developed until you're like, I think 23, 24, 25. I think it's 25. And you could really tell because when I watched this the first time, I was shipping Buffy and Spike so hard, so hard. Now watching it decades later, I'm like, there's no way in hell that I want Buffy with Spike. I'm like, this would have been a wonderful opportunity for him to reach out as a friend and be a really strong friend for her and a really good friend for her, because I realized how fragile her relationships with Willow and Xander were. These are Scoobies that they don't know each other. They don't care about each other. They're not really connected. Willow doesn't talk about her relationship with Tara with her. Buffy doesn't talk about her relationship with, like, Buffy would go on and on about Angel, but that was like the extent of their closeness. Like, Willow doesn't talk about her feelings with Buffy when she was crazy about Xander or Oz. She wouldn't talk about her feelings then. Buffy doesn't talk about her feelings about like coming back, and she keeps it as a secret and stuff like that instead of telling her the truth. Instead of talking to these people who are supposed to be her best friends about how she feels and talking to her stupid fucking useless goddamn sister, she's out in a fucking crypt talking to some soulless demon about like how she feels and how horrible she feels. And of course he's a soulless demon, he takes advantage, and the minute like she's like trying to find a way to like, you know, distract her mind or something, then he will immediately start, you know, it's like, oh sure, I'll have sex with you. And then like after that he's constantly pushing her and pressuring her for sex. And this is the difference between Angel and Spike. Although this is Spike without a soul, but Angel with a soul, he would never fucking pressure Buffy into sex. And well, none of them should be anyways, because they're 200 years old. Get a girlfriend that's a little bit closer to your age. But like the relationship between Spike and Buffy is just so fucked up because Spike is just so damaged. And like he's just not like, she's got PTSD, and what's unfortunate and what's weird is that like he's actually a lot more sympathetic to her than like any of her friends are, and and more sympathetic to her than her sister is. And when the most honest conversation I think they have is when at Xander and Anya's wedding, when he's saying that he just brought her there to make her jealous, and she's like, I'm a little bit jealous. He's like, thank you for saying that. She's like, oh, it's my fault. And he's like, no, it's not. Like, I feel like that's the most generous, kind, considerate conversation anyone's had with her all season. She hasn't had someone be considerate or kind. The only other considerate, kind conversation she's had is with Riley when Riley returns. And by the way, I love that, and I hate that the comics try to ruin that. The comics I don't think of as canon at all, because they make Warren come back, they make Riley evil. No, I like the fact that he came and he was happy and he left. I like that. But like Spike is so fucking toxic for her, and like the fact that Marty Noxon seemed to make the goal of this season to make Buffy just crawling on the ground, desperate and pathetic, makes me so upset. It's so fucked up. All the shit she puts this girl through, the psychological torture. I'm not surprised that Sarah was like, fuck this show by the end of season 6. That was the last season.